Hello everyone, today our group will give a presentation on the topic of how does a social class affect language learners' acquisition of communicative competence. Researchers point out that people in different social status differ in their opportunities for increasing their wealth, the nature of their working conditions, and their access to education and educational credentials. Generally speaking, different economic situations, professions, and educational backgrounds of family members make language learners feel easier or harder in the process of acquiring a second language. So we believe differences of social class would make an influence in learners' acquisition of communicative competence. Canella and Swain argued that the ability to communicate required four different sub-competencies: grammatical competence, sociolinguistic competence, discourse competence, and strategical competence. We divided them into two general types. Grammatical competence has been defined as ability to create grammatically correct utterances. It is a knowledge of grammar, lexis, syntax, semantics, and morphology. The acquisition of this competence relies more on theory study, while the improvement of the other three competencies requires more in practical training. Around the world, the most common early stages of grammar learning for a second language still take place in classrooms. The professional level of teachers, the advanced level of teaching equipment, and the rationality of teaching schedules always affect the students' learning of the grammar in second language acquisition. At the same time, these factors are also influenced by social class differences. Families with better economic conditions often have more choices in terms of educational resources and teachers. So, language learners in higher social class are exposed to more efficient ways of learning grammar. Kano's research in 5 different schools in Japan reveals that schools there that are targeted toward and attended by students of different social classes offer unequal access to studying elite languages, such as English, and devalue the language skills of children from poor immigrant backgrounds. In addition, the education level of family members also have an impact. In 2017, the online education platform of primary and secondary schools in China surveyed around 60,000 questionnaires from parents and over 1.5 million questionnaires from students. It found that parents with doctor's degree had the highest proportion of participating in what their children were learning, accounting for over 70%, followed by parents with a graduate degree, bachelor's degree, and lower. Of course, they are not happening only in Japan or China. Language learners in high school class have better educational resources, and their parents with relatively high levels of education also provide greater help to their children's theory study.
Discourse competence concerns the selection, sequencing, and arrangement of words, structures, and utterances to achieve a unified spoken or written text, and to create conversations, speeches, email messages, and so on. Students from higher social class families may have more opportunities to participate in debates, speeches, or writing competitions, thereby improving their ability to organize arguments and construct a coherent discourse in English. Learners from families with higher social status may have more opportunities to engage in activities such as the Model United Nations, which facilitates the enhancement of their second language phrasing. In contrast, students from low social class families may lack these opportunities. Strategic competence refers to the ability to solve communication problems as they arise, aiming at making available problem-solving strategies on all levels of the communicative competence. Workers from higher social classes may need to communicate with clients or partners from other countries. In this case, they need to use strategic competence to cope with possible linguistic difficulties. This experience in a real work environment helps them to be more confident and effective in second language communication. Social class may also influence the way learners are exposed to the second language environment, and thus indirectly influence the degree of positive and negative transfer, including educational resources, target language environment, and learning motivation. Social linguistic competence is defined as the ability to produce and recognize socially appropriate within a given social cultural context, which is asking how can I express and respond to an attitude in specific settings. Social class can impact the development of social linguistic competence in second language. Higher social class learners may have more opportunities to immerse themselves in authentic second language environments, leading to better understanding and adaptation to second language social linguistic norms. Learners from higher social classes often have greater access to quality educational resources and exposure to target language, such as well-structured language courses, private tutoring, or study abroad opportunities. In conclusion, there exists a relationship between social class and second language communicative competence. Social class may influence various aspects of second language learning, which in turn can impact a learner's communicative competence. That's all. Thank you for listening.